game engine. The game engine workflow is going to consist of 3 sub workflows, which are the load quiz bucket workflow, which we have built earlier on, and the get player selected answer, which we're going to build within this series. And finally, the evaluate player answer, which we are also going to build within this series. The game engine workflow is going to call the load quiz bucket. The load quiz bucket workflow is going to generate for us a quiz bucket dictionary. The quiz bucket dictionary is going to live within the game engine, and the quiz bucket is going to consist of quiz question data. Now, a quiz question data would comprise of the actual quiz question and the answer options. These 2 values would be displayed on a game engine form. The game engine form would also give the player the ability to select an answer option. And once the player selects an answer option, the get player selected answer workflow would retrieve this answer option. And the selected answer option would be evaluated by the evaluate player answer. If the answer is correct, then the player would be awarded a score point of +10. Without wasting too much time, let's build it. Creating our game engine form. I wouldn't waste too much time here because we have created a UiPath form previously. So I believe we all know the basics of creating a form. So without doing too much of explanation here, go over to design and hit new and forms. You want to give your form a name of GameEngineForm, hit create. So we're going to be moving real fast. The very first thing you want to do is add a label. So search for a label component, drag it into your form, give the label size of header high, and for the content, set this to quiz bot game. It looks good. Hit save. Ctrl S to save. Okay, now our next form component would be a panel. So search for a panel, drag it right into the game engine form, and give it a title, game panel. Don't worry about this. You would understand in the later part of this video why we are doing this. You can see what it looks like. It's going to come out with a label called game panel. From the preview section, we can see this, but we don't really like this. So go down here and tick hide label. So this is what we want. It looks good, and we hit save. Now we have a panel. We're going to be building other components within the panel. Now let's move our submit button into the panel. So I'm going to move the submit button right into the panel, and I'm going to hit on edit of the submit button, and I want to change the action to custom. It looks good, and I hit save. Ctrl S to save. Please don't forget to hit Ctrl S to save. The next component we want to add is a text field. So add a text field component right into your panel, just above your submit button. This text field component is going to hold your player name. So give it a label of player name and go down here. You should see the disabled. Make sure this is ticked because you want this to be disabled. Basically, this component is just going to show the player name. The player shouldn't be able to edit their names from this field. Okay, go to field key. And for the property name, you want to keep it to something that you can remember. UiPath automatically generates a property name based on what label you have provided. For me, I'm just going to call this player name, P with a capital letter and N with a capital letter, player name. So I can always remember this. I hit save and I am good. Ctrl S to save. The next component you want to add is a text field again, and that's going to hold our score points. So you want to hold your score points, It's going to hold the player score points, go down here, make this disabled, and back again to the field key. I want to call this score points. Camel casing, first letter of each word, capital letter, and I'm good. It looks good. I hit save, Control S to save. It would make more sense if player name and score points were on the same line, placed side by side. To do that, I'm going to have a column. So you're going to put a column, component, right here. You don't need to do anything with the settings. Just hit save. And now you want to move. So click on move, hold it, and drag your player name to the right hand side, to the left hand side, of your column. And for your score points, you want to move it to the right hand side of your column. It looks good. Control S to save. Looking good. Now let's add a text area component. The text area is going to be used to hold or display the actual question. So I'm going to put this right below the column, not inside of the column, right after the column. I'm going to call this question. And for the field key, I want to keep it something that I can remember. So question is fine. I go to display again, head back down. You want to keep this disabled. Looks good here, and I hit save. Control S to save. Without wasting too much time, let's add very last component, and that's going to be a drop down. The drop down list component right below my question field, and this is going to display for us our answer options. Good. Now below you would see disabled. Nah, you don't want to make this disabled, so leave that alone because the player is going to select an answer option, so that will be enabled. Over here to your widget type, you want to make this HTML5 because I really like this. It makes so much sense. Go over to the field key, and in the property name, I would love my A to begin with a capital letter so I can always remember these answer options, and I hit save. Control S to save, and it looks good. Okay, I don't think there is any other thing we need to do for now. Our form looks great, so we shall proceed with the next set of things.